So you're not gonna believe this, but I just did like the whole video and then my camera's like, power will turn off to save battery because I hadn't pressed record. Anyway, let's just recap what I was talking about. I'm doing my New Year's Eve book tag, which is an original one that I created back in 2014. I've added a few questions to revamp it, and it just kind of helps you to summarize the year with the whole tagging process. I'm not going to tag anyone in specific. I would just love for anyone who's watching this who wants to do it, to do it. If you have a booktube channel and you make a video, please put your link down below. I'd love to see it. If you don't have a booktube channel and you still want to do it, just like put your answers down in the comments. I really, really love to hear about your 2015 reading year. And so without further ado, I'm going to start. It's a really weird day today. Like, it's like I've just got, like, I don't know if I'll show you, like, the weather right now. It's like miserable and it's middle of summer. And I get like hot and cold flushes. Anyway, so question 1, again, what was the first book you read in 2015? That is Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend by Matthew Green. Didn't help me remember. And this is an amazing story told from Butto, who is the imaginary friend of 8-year-old Max. And it's so unique. I never read or heard of anything along these lines, and I think I got it from an op shop probably. And it was just so good because Butto is the only person who can save Max because Max gets kidnapped. And I really, really loved the book, and that was the first I read. Second question is, what was the last book you read in 2015? And for me, that was 438 Days by Jonathan Franklin. This is the true story of Salvador Alvarenga, whose engine dies and he gets swept out into sea. He survives 438 days lost at sea, travels from somewhere in Mexico all the way down to, I forget the islands, but like near Australia. So I think he travelled 5,500 miles. Insane, incredible tale of survival. Question number 3 is, did you read any books more than twice? I didn't get a chance to read a book more than twice this year because I was so swamped with review books, and yeah, I just really didn't get the opportunity. I don't think that I read any that I would have wanted to reread apart from one, which I will mention later on in the video. So yes, but I did reread the first 4 Harry Potter books, but I hadn't read them since I was finished high school, which was back in 2013. Question number 4, which author did you read the most of? This was a tie between J.K. Rowling, obviously for the 4 Harry Potter books, and then James Dashner with the Maze Runner series, and then the prequel for that as well. I didn't really read a lot of standalone same author this year. I think probably just because, like I said, I was doing review books. Axel's laying down there and he just did the biggest sigh. Puppy! Puppy! Axel! You're not getting much attention today. He's just like, oh. Oh, my puppy. Okay, question number 5. What book had the best cover? This is so easy to do. Easiest question of all. It is Akane by Lynette Noni. And Lynette is an amazing Australian author. And this book here is a mix kind of between Harry Potter and Narnia elements, where the girl Alex gets sucked into another world. And the sequel to this is coming out soon this year. And I think that the cover's just as good. Puppy, what's wrong? He's just walking around in circles trying to find a spot to sit. Come here. Oh, poor darling. Question number 6. What were the worst 5 books that you read? Now, to start this off, it was Will Grayson by John Green. Yeah, it was a buddy read that I chose to do. I was the one who picked it. I thought I would really like it because I'd heard wonderful things about it, and I enjoy reading books from the LGBT genre. And he was so pig-headed. Both Will Graysons were awful. They were mean to their mums, and they were just arrogant and pig-headed, and I'm not going to go on. but I really, really did not enjoy it. The second puppy, no, come back. He was just sitting there letting me play with his ears. The second book that I did not enjoy was Where I Was by Meg Rosoff, and ironically enough, it was another LGBT book where the characters were just ugh. But in this one, the storyline was very like I honestly got to the end of the book and was like, what? Like, what? Anyway, the third book that I did not enjoy was Zakora by Nicholas and Alison Lachelle. This is a middle grade, and that's why I didn't enjoy it. I was sent this copy. It was a review copy. I mean, it wasn't bad, but now I've kind of got to the nitty gritty where I had to pick the worst of the best. But yeah, like, I mean, this would be really good for a boy just starting out into reading. I think it would really get someone in that middle grade age range into reading, because I think it's good for that age, just not for a 20-year-old. What was the next thing I didn't enjoy? Before the Fire by Sarah Butler. Yeah, that was another weird one where it was dark and sinister and didn't really make a lot of sense. I think I got to the end and was like, what? Again. The last book that I read and did not enjoy was another buddy read, and it was Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I love survival stories, as you might have seen with 438 Days. And this was a classic, and I was so excited, and then it was a flop and boring and yeah, dismal. And that was the 5 books that I didn't like. The best 5 books that I read in 2015, you know how I was saying that there was one that I would have reread, and I nearly did reread it, and that was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is my first time reading it, and I was just blown away by the relatability-ness. I had so many characteristics with Kath, anxiety, and you know, like the connection to family and things. So like, I got it. I really got it, and I love this book. And I've got Carry On, what do they call it? I can't remember what it's called, but you know, it's like related text. HSC talk for you there. Anyway, that was one of my favourites. The next was, the top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware, and this is a true story. It's like an autobiography, as well as kind of a self-growth, and it's amazing. She's an Australian woman who overcome depression and all these wonderful things to like manifest an incredible life for her, and she worked for like 10-15 years with like not in palliative care but in people's homes who were dying, and so that's like top 5 regrets of the dying. They shared with her their biggest regrets, and she was really able to, you know, learn from their mistakes and to rectify them early enough so that, you know, she could learn and live from it. And it was amazing. Bronnie is such an amazing woman, and I got to interview her, so if you want to read the review and interview, you can see it on my book blog, link below. Oh yeah, The Power Is Within You by Louise Hay, and then You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. General self-growth theme that you might pick up here. Louise is a goddess. Like, her self-love and affirmations that she teaches are amazing and literally changed my life, and I've just like come out from a rut and like so yeah, I don't have either of them with me at the moment because I left them down south because I was like, I can't not have them here when I get back. And then the last one is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and you could include The Lost World in there too, so it's not 6. I just realised that there's a J in my brick. They're amazing. A huge fan of the movies, always, and then like 2 years ago I discovered they were books. I don't know how I didn't know that, because it says at the end, based off the books by Michael Crichton. Anyway, they were amazing. I can't speak highly enough of them. Can't speak up highly enough of any of these books. They were all like on point. Question number 8. What book did you really want to read? What book did you really want to read but just never got around to it? Now, I couldn't divide it from these 2 books just because they've literally both been on my TBR shelf above my bed all year, from the end of 2014 to now, and I haven't read either of them, and I'm so disappointed in myself. They are The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom, and this was lent to me by one of my besties, and it's kind of like a similar to Anne Frank and the whole Nazi thing. I think this one specifically Christian testimony. Yes. The other one is Ghost Boy by Martin Pistorius, and this is an incredible true story about this boy who at 12 he like lost. People thought he was a vegetable, essentially. There was nothing there, but in reality he was all there, and he was just paralysed and couldn't communicate. And then I think when he was about 20 he started coming back, and like his incredible story of all those years not being able to communicate, but everyone thinking that he wasn't with it. So I'm like, I really want to read them, I just haven't. I don't know what's wrong with me. Question number 9 is book that most surprised you. Now this one goes to one, I'd never read anything of this genre. It was new adult, and I was never a fan of romance, still not a fan of romance. Don't know why I like this book, but I read it and I loved it, and it is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire. Normally these kind of books hiss the shit out of me, but just did something, and yeah. Apart from the last chapter, which was like, and then I didn't really like Travis's perspective, Walking Disaster. Didn't really like Beautiful Wedding either, but I love this one. And yeah. Alright, and then question number 10 is best book story. So best story that you've acquired throughout the year related to books. And mine, well, it's not really a best, but most memorable was when I was travelling to Townsville. You may remember earlier if you've seen my video from when I was up there. And we listened to the Harry Potter audiobook on the way out, and we were just driving along. I'm staring out the window, imagining my Harry Potter fantastic world, when this is in my dad's big ass ute, by the way, so we weren't in a little car. We're in a big ass ute with a bull bar. And I look out the window, and this cow just come pelting down the road, or pelting down the paddock, straight onto the road, and I was just like, Dad, 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 cow, cow, cow. And he swerved just a little bit, just put the brakes on a little bit, like amazing, immaculate driving. Unfortunately we couldn't do anything apart from hitting the cow, just because, you know, we would have tipped and or rolled, and Dad did an amazing job to hit where we did, because it did minimal impact to the car. Like had she hit in the middle of the bull bar, she could have flipped over and come through the windscreen. And this isn't like a potty cow. This is a cow like the size of me. Huge mama. Luckily for her, she died on impact. But it was such a like, happened so instantly. And like, I don't know if I'm not going to be able to read Harry without being mentally traumatized by it. But that's probably my most memorable book moment from this year. Anyway, everyone was fine, apart from the cow. Could have been a lot worse, and we're all safe. And that is why you should wear a bull bar and a buckle, a seatbelt. Yeah. Anyway, that's the end. So please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to be much more active. As you can see, I've already put like three videos up in like a week. Kudos to Em. And yes, please put your answers and videos down below. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.